Men and women who keep our schools clean. For the students, teachers, and visitors say that they are simply underappreciated. The only raise that they have received was a hike in pay due to minimum wage increases.
As Channel 2's Claudine Ewing tells us, they haven't had a raise in over a decade.
In City Hall for years, the name on the door of the Buffalo Schools custodial services was Russell Mosby. He retired, but not with the money he expected. And members of Local 17 and 409, still on the job, are working under a contract that hasn't been renewed since 2010.
A lot of us have had to sacrifice our social lives to work 80 hours a week, more overtime than we work straight hours, to compensate for our lack of a reasonable hourly wage.
An average worker at 40 hours a week over the length of this contract has lost about $65,000 in wages alone.
Gary Swain is the business manager for Local 17, which represents custodians, some HVAC workers, many of the people that keep buildings clean.
These are, quite frankly, essential workers. Even when the schools had gone remote learning, the teachers were still in the buildings.
How hard is it to work under terms from 13 years ago, and we're in 2022, there's inflation, things are constantly going up?
They're giving up their home life to work extra hours to make ends meet.
Who's been the holdup here? I've heard that when Dr. Cash was here, he was a problem for negotiating.
Doesn't the school board dictate what happens in the school system? And therefore they have to own this. They have to take responsibility that they've taken this much money out of these people's pockets.
He thinks the school board wants to change the dynamics because school engineers get to keep extra money for upkeep of the buildings.
When they contract with the schools to upkeep a building, they do everything that they need to do to satisfy that contract, and whatever is left over really is their profit.
It's unclear how that money is accounted for. Swain is hoping interim superintendent Dr. Tanja Williams gets involved so the school board can come to terms with the engineers. They were unavailable for comment today. Claudine Ewing, Channel 2 News.